G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and that's right, it's time for Let's Have a Listen. And today we're going to feature Radio Birdman's landmark 1977 punk rock classic Radios Appear. There are two big names in punk rock in Australia, and that's Radio Birdman and, of course, the Saints. Both loom large over Australian punk and rock music that would follow. History probably would prove that Radio Birdman probably has the edge as far as influence goes. If you listen to what happened next with bands like the Hitmen, Hoodoo Gurus, well, you could argue Hoodoo Gurus had their own thing happening with the Victims before that, but of course Brad Shepherd played with Chris Muzak in the Hitmen and went on to be in the Hoodoo Gurus, and of course the whole Geelong scene with bands like Bored and Magic Dirt and many others. But these guys bring that hard rock, punk edged guitar sound straight from Detroit City, of course influenced by MC5 and the Stooges, and features one of Detroit's own native sons who was out here studying at the time, and thank God he packed a guitar, and that of course is Dennis Tech, who I think it was Pip Hoyle who played piano that he first met, and you don't think of punk rock and piano very often, but trust me, there's no fat or tinkling of the ivories the way Pip Hoyle plays, even though he's quite a skilled musician. Along with Ron Keeley on drums, Chris Muzak, as aforementioned before, on guitar, Rob Younger, powerhouse lead singer, amazing frontman, Dennis Tech, of course, on lead guitar, and Warwick Gilbert on bass. Amazing band. I got to see them live when they reformed probably 10 or 15 years ago. Still just absolutely brought it live. Rob Younger still had a great voice. And yeah, of course, Dennis Tech, what a guitarist. Just as a side note, was lucky to see quite a few years ago with who was left of MC5 at the time when they toured. I think they would call themselves the DK3 or something like that. And anyway, Dennis Tech played in Fred Sonic Smith's place, and they had a number of guest vocalists to take over for Rob Tyner. One of them, amazingly, was Mark Arm, who did a brilliant job. Evan Dando, believe it or not, but he had that cool lazy voice and did the Fred Sonic Smith songs, and of course our own sexy Tex Perkins, who prowled the stage like a panther. Anyway, getting sidetracked, let's get back to Radio Birdman's Radios Appear. Now, this was the only album they released until about 82. A lot of problems they had. That's the Living Eyes album you can see behind me up there, which probably, ended the band in a way. Like most Australian bands, they tried to go to England and things fell apart for a number of reasons, but it is kind of a forgotten classic in its own right. But we're here to talk about this one. Anyway, this is there's a few different versions of this. Now, this is the Trafalgar Records version, which there has been a reissue of this in the last few years, which is pretty easy to get. There's also, I love, in case you weren't 100% sure, there's a dedication to the Stooges on the back there. Highlights on this, of course, TVI, Murder City Nights, Descent into Maelstrom, Do the Pop, and of course New Race. What an album. And this is a Australian WEA edition. I might just show you the reissue as well. So Same artwork, probably a bit more glossy sleeve. And this one comes with a little bit extra. Nice label there, picture of the band. And an inner here with a cool live picture. Yeah, Rob Younger doing his best street walking cheetah. Anyway, so some of you might be like, what the hell? You didn't mention Aloha Stephen Dano. Well, the original record, that single wasn't on it. I do have a 7-inch of that, which is backed with Anglo Girl Desire. Classic song. But of course, you might also be thinking, well, that Radio's Appear has a weird cover, because you might be used to this one. Great photo of the band there. And of course, this has Aloha Stephen Dano on the first track on side 2. So I think this was, I can't remember if this was an Australian reissue and they put the single on it, or if this was like for the overseas market. But mine's like a WEA copy. But yeah, either version, of course, is fantastic. All great songs. Just for the sake of brevity, we will not go through every track, but yeah, like Non-Stop Girls. Do the pop. Descent into Maelstrom. New Race.
There's gotta be a new race. Kids are gonna start it up. I'm gonna be dead. Need to say it, yeah. Yeah. They're gonna punch you out. Yeah. They're gonna punch you out. Yeah. They're gonna punch you out. Yeah.
Stephen Dano. Murder City Nights. And this version actually, I forgot about that, has a version of You're Gonna Miss Me, the 13th Floor Elevators song. And I think, yeah, what's this, 10 tracks versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, Aloha, Stephen Dano, and You're Gonna Miss Me. Anyway, regardless of which one, get them both and get Living Eyes as well while you're at it. Classic Australian record. Check them out.